Alex,
Yeah,
what's the tent bag for?
to put Tom in. Like the plan, remember? We get in through the window, into the bedroom, put Tom in the tent bag, and we drag him back to the studio.
And we can't just put him in a bin bag.
What? I had a tent bag ready.
Alright, okay, alright.
Right, you ready?
Sure. Shh. Tread lightly.
He's still asleep by the sounds of it. All right, Chloe, now, grab him!
Quick! Grab that arm! Shove that arm in!
I've got him!
Alright, zip! Zip!
I've got him!
Yeah, remind me, why are we actually doing this?
Because we can't do a podcast with just two people. That wouldn't make any sense.
Okay, alright, fair enough.
I'll drag the bag back to the studio. You hit play on the theme tune.
Which one's the play button?
I don't know. I think it's the green one.
Yeah, okay, found it.
No, that's the Late Night with Nietzsche theme tune. It's the other one. The other one.
Oh, this one?
That's the one. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Larps and Tarps. I'm joined here today by the amazing Chloe.
Hello.
The reluctant Tom.
Help! Help! Call the police! Where am I?
And I'm Alex. And today we're going to be talking about our adventures at E1 on the Saturday and Sunday. Apologies, we weren't able to be on the last episode due to physical pain, but back now and ready to chat about some shenanigans.
Whoop whoop! I'm looking forward to hearing your shenanigans.
Ganans to be shenined.
Gnans to be shenin.
I'm also here probably just to prevent it being just another cringy Navarre-only podcast. I mean, who does those?
I mean, Navarre is the best nation.
Basic bitch nation.
Ooh!
What? Coming from the booty
Shots
short
fired.
nation.
Booty short nation looking fine.
Yeah, okay.
Saying from a man who doesn't wear booty shorts.
Oh,
And
you
thankful.
should.
I should. I just need to tone up the legs a bit more.
Oh no, let it
Let it go.
It's all good. Anyway.
Well, on this episode of Self-Positivity.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start off with monstering on the Saturday.
You monster
Yeah.
on Saturday. Before you do that quickly, I'd like to say to LARPing our asses off, we are coming for you. We will sue. You've used our name more than 5 times in your episode. I believe we're owed compensation. We've got my crack lawyer, Monsieur Lavender, wigging it up and getting all fancy. He's looking through his legal thesaurus and we're coming for you.
Have we got LARP podcast beef?
Nah, not yet.
I've not heard this. I'll have to have a listen.
That alternatively, our Neve could fight their Neve. There can only be one.
They have a
Navari.
Neve.
They've got a Navari Neve.
Oh, there cannot be 2 Navari Neves on a podcast.
We're going to have a Neve off.
Run larping our arse off Neve. Our Neve is psycho.
It's true.
Yeah, just a little bit. So yeah.
Not even in like the fun way. Just genuinely, she's batshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Run, Alex, run!
So I guess we start off with monstering. It was a cool day in Anvil, and we got up, had some noodles, chilled around the camp, and then headed off to get our masks on and get ready to fight. And it was a pretty good fight.
What did you guys think about being the Grendel? Did you get look into the brief at all? Did you know what was really going on? Because you've never fought the Grendel either, have you?
No. Chloe, how about you? Did you get into
Of course not.
No? All right.
I suppose you edited the Grendel episode when
I
we did
did,
it, so
yeah.
you have more...
Yeah, I've read up
knowledge.
about it as well beforehand, just to kind of touch up on it. But I made sure I had a little bit of purple. And, I mean, I think I like the Grendel. I like the whole... They're not pirates. There's a clear point that they're not pirates. But I like the whole piratey vibes, you know?
Yeah, they're like a mercenary company in orc form, and that's why I think
Yeah.
they're my favourite orc faction. I love the audacity and the fanciness of them.
Yeah.
But they're also like cartels, so it's like, oh my god, it's orc Breaking Bad.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I was looking forward to just being another type of orc for a bit.
Did you guys EMU or did you just go with the general huddle?
We just
General.
went general
Yeah,
huddle.
we don't EMU.
Although we did watch Fergus as he EMU'd, running about.
You should really try it sometime. I love EMUing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we might give it a go. But yeah, we got to see the crab people. We're fighting alongside the crab people.
They were cool.
Crab look awesome.
Yeah. And I took a spear straight to the crotch.
Ooh.
It was very painful. And they apologized, bless them. It's okay. It's okay.
Did they call cleave on you at all? The eternal question, does a cleave on the nutsack count as a cleave?
That would be a castration, wouldn't it? And one guy got a really good kill. Because obviously your point as monstering when you're an orc is to give the players an experience. You know,
Yeah.
you want to give them a good kill if they're going to try and go for you. And I saw this guy swinging with his halberd round the back of his head down for my legs, my knees, my calves. So I'm turned to brace for it, and then as it hit, swung both legs up in front of me and landed flat on my back.
Oh, that's a nice death.
And you can see he was like proper smug, like I'm happy, and I was like I'm happy. Like that was a lot of fun.
I wish I could use a halberd like that. There's some people can use a double-handed weapon so well. I can just point with it, basically, and poke you from afar.
Well, you are lethal with it. You did get a cleave on me.
Yeah, I saw you. It's like, ooh, I know those thighs. Target acquired.
How about the fight for you, Chloe? How was it?
How most of my fights go. Start off with everyone, lose everyone, have no idea what's going on.
Did you black out?
But
just wake up in a
the
blood
rage
rage
just took over.
afterwards.
No, it was pretty cool. Obviously, it was quite chilly. It was quite cold. But yeah, it was pretty fun. We started off fighting with our little miniature units. I think, what were we called?
Oh, the lobsters?
Yeah, the lobsters. And we were kind of fighting with them, which was kind of cool. And then obviously, as soon as you die, you all get separated.
Yeah.
There was a point. There were 2 points actually, but they were kind of consecutive. I'd found Josh and someone else. I didn't know this other third person, but there was 3 of us, and we were kind of just at the back of the fields by the bushes. And so there was 3 of us, and there was about 7 Dornish people that came up to us to obviously take us out. And I realised it was Adam, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, right. I know where this is gonna go." And a couple of people went after Josh. Adam just came for me, and then a couple of other people went for the other person we were with and kind of split us up. Now, Josh just ran circles around them. His name is Leg for a reason. He just legged it, and honestly, I could hear the Benny Hill music playing in the background. He was just running around in circles.
I'm just picturing the Zoidberg sound.
I mean, appropriate,
Yep.
given we were the lobsters at that point. But yeah, he was just running around in circles, and I was just watching these people chase him, which was hilarious. But yeah, Adam went for me, and it was just me, and I was probably about a meter away from the bush at this point. I was like, right, I have nowhere to go. I'm not going to take him on because he's a scary dude. And
He's a butterfly.
yeah, well, he scared me. But I said to him, I was like, well, wait, like maybe we could come to some sort of agreement. Maybe I could pay you. And he so very coolly, with each hit, said, "You can pay me with your life."
Nice.
And took me down.
Nice.
It was really cool at the time, and I was like, "That was I'm pleased with that kill for you. Like, I'm glad you got that kill."
Boy's been LARPing for a long time. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that's why he
hardcore.
scares me, just because he's been doing it for so long. But I was like, that was a really cool kill. But yeah, just kind of I lost everyone throughout the most of it.
Yeah, I lost that. There was a point I was on my own. I hadn't seen anybody that I knew for a while. I was like a lost child.
Aw.
And I saw Seb,
Kick him.
and I went over to Seb, and I was like, so it was kind of like Forrest Gump, you know, when he's been running for a while. He's like, I think I'll go home now. I had one of those conversations with Seb.
I'm quite tired.
Yeah, and they just kind of were like, yeah, you can go. Like, you don't, they're not going to force you to do anything. After I've been fighting for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet. So headed back and saw Chloe on the way. And then we headed back to camp. And it was time to actually spend some money from all the mead that I'd sold, or for Chloe to spend.
Rolling and thrones, you bastard.
I don't know. Chloe managed to see off, I think about 4 thrones on the Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm penny pinching here, and there's you guys throwing thrones out left, right, and centre.
I still don't think Chloe knows the currencies.
Oh no, I don't.
Fair.
I have no concept of money at Anvil. I have absolutely no idea.
So it's 20 rings.
Oh, no, I know how it works.
Okay.
I just it just doesn't register.
Sorry, I couldn't resist a chance to mansplain the Empire
Oh,
currency.
of course. It was a actually.
Let me just mansplain whilst I explain.
For the listeners, Tom men spread then as well.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I have absolutely no idea. I have no concept of money at Anvil. Like, I'll just.
Yeah. So we headed out.
4 thrones for a mead? Sure.
Sugar Daddy Otis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not real money, so it doesn't matter to me.
Well, you'd heard that there was some pizza in Wintermark because we've got Little Bastard with us who is like, he's like a magpie when it comes to icy food.
Okay.
He'll just disappear for a little bit and then come back with something delicious. We went and got some pizza with leg and bread, and we had a real lovely little adventure, didn't we? It was great chatting with them. And the pizza guy in Wintermark is really impressive. I expected, like, instant bases. He just chugs it in and has some sort of kiln type thing.
Yeah.
But he's got a pizza oven,
Right.
for those that haven't been, a pizza oven, and he makes his own dough.
Oh, that's
Like,
crazy.
he's there stretching out the dough. So he makes his own bases.
All completely fresh. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Delicious. And we recommended he starts making calzones.
Ooh,
Or calzones.
tasty.
Yeah. Carried on trekking, and I think that's when it all went downhill financially. Because someone went up to Chloe. What did you buy?
Well, I bought some macarons. I bought some beef jerky.
Did you just buy
That was
all
it.
food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all ingestible things.
All snacky type stuff, yeah.
I think it was just the macarons and the beef jerky.
Are they
Yeah.
macaroons? I think Macaron was the president of France.
No, Macron is the
Oh,
president.
there we
but
go.
macarons are the ones with the 2 little.
Oh, like the
delicate-
little burgers.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
little colourful
And then
burgers.
macaroons are the ones covered in coconut.
Ah.
I mean, someone tell me if I've got that mixed up.
No,
but
you probably are right.
I know my snacky snack.
One thing Chloe knows, it's violence and snags.
Then we headed over to the Empress's coronation, which was quite interesting. I went with Kerry and Nia, or Radka and Nia, and it was better than I thought it would be.
Could you actually see? Because I imagine there's quite a big crowd there.
Yeah,
There's
I
a lot
could
of tall
see.
people at Anvil.
I think Kerry struggled, so I kind of had to kind of say a couple times kind of what was going on. We did see a big squid tentacle flapping around
I've
behind
seen
us.
photos of the squid tentacle.
It was really good.
That looks sick.
But no, there were. So the biggest standouts for me were there were Thule there. I've never seen any Thule before.
I've still never. Oh no, I saw one briefly, but I haven't seen one
Yeah.
properly.
So that was quite cool. And there was some Grendel. They got a bad reaction from the
Did
crowd.
they get a few boos?
Oh, they got more than a few boos, yeah. And whoever was OC playing the Grendel played it really well.
Yeah.
It was like this opulent, kind of flamboyant, gave this half-assed wave to the crowd, kind of like, hello, but fuck you at the same time.
Kind of like the Queen's way.
Yeah, it was really
When
cool.
they were batting them off.
Yeah. So then, there was a few people shouting out at them. And I think especially some marchers were quite vocal.
The marches are always fucking vocal.
Yeah. And then, the Empress gave a speech. And their dad, I think it is, crowned them.
Okay, cool.
I think it was their dad. I don't know. I don't know Varushka very well. But that was nice. And then we headed over to... Well, actually, I had some sabotage.
You had some sabotage.
Not sabotage, but I wanted to mess with Morgan.
Oh, who doesn't want to mess with Morgan?
Just for a bit of fun.
Does he know about this yet?
He doesn't know about this. No. So I thought it'd be funny, but I hired a messenger to take a message to Morgan, basically saying, and on the message it said, anonymously I sent this. Head to the Mandaula Arms. You'll be welcome. There's no need to knock. And there you will find written the secrets of the Brock.
Ooh.
And I thought Tristan's not going to be able to
Resist
give up
that.
this, what could this be? So we headed to the Mandala Arms and just gave them a piece of paper written on it said, the secrets of the Brock. So essentially, Tristan would have to walk from one end of Anvil all the way to the other for no reason whatsoever, which is quite an annoying thing to do to someone who's very busy all the time.
Yeah.
So that was the plan. So we saw some marchers. It's a marcher bar, and they were obviously more than happy to help fuck with the Dornish person.
Yeah, of course.
They were like, yeah, pass it here, no worries.
They were like, we'll do it for free. It's funny.
Yeah. And I've heard nothing from it.
No?
I've heard nothing
not?
from it. So I imagine the letter. Hello, Morgan, by the way, if you're listening. I imagine the letter just wasn't ever delivered. which is fine because I did feel a bit guilty about it afterwards. And I think it was around then that you had quite a spiky experience, didn't you?
Spiky?
Yeah, right. So, our dear friend Yada came into camp, or Danica, Icy, came into camp and they were like...
You've got a real Liga problem in your camp, don't you?
We do. We have a bit of a league infestation.
Like raccoons. Get out of here!
Get. Yeah, so Danica came into camp and was like, oh, hey, I've won this military unit upgrade and I don't have a military unit and I thought, what people do I know that have military units? Oh, these scary Navari.
I have a military unit.
A useful military unit. I
A
think
very useful unit.
Okay.
So they were like, oh, do you know, I'm just going to write down everyone's name and then pick someone's name out of a hat at random. We were like, oh, fantastic, yeah. So Neve straight away was like, yep, Neve Agra, put my name down, put it down a few times if you want. Just making a joke. And then other people in camp wrote their names down. And I went up to Danica afterwards and I was like, feel free to write my name a few more times if you want. I could definitely do with a military unit upgrade. And they were like, okay, well, if you pay me a crown, I'll put your name in 10 times. I was like, deal. So I paid them a crown. And then my name got picked. I was like, fantastic. They were like, okay, well, yep. So there's a ritual that needs to be cast for it. If you meet me at this point at this time, whatever. I was like, fine, yeah, sure. So went there. I had to go to their camp in the league, and then we had to go up to the jackdaws.
Cool.
Because a couple of the jackdaws were doing the ritual. I was like, I should have known something fishy was going on as soon as we walked into the jackdaw camp. But
I had no idea this was going on, by the way.
which is...
Nobody tells Nietzsche nothing.
And so, yeah, I sat there, and Grace, who plays Lana, was doing it, and Will, who plays... Martine, that's it. And someone else was helping, I cannot remember.
There were a few there, yeah.
I can't remember.
So it was basically the clattering curtain by the sounds
It was, yeah. There was a couple of people I put... So it was Lana, Martine, and...
Casimir.
I completely forgot already, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so the three of them were doing it, and Lana was asking me all these things about my military unit, like, what do I feel, blah, blah, blah. And then she told me to close my eyes, and I did, and I felt I put something on my head. And I was like, oh, this is bizarre. And then she held a mirror in front of my face, and there were a pair of antlers on my head. Didn't twig, didn't nothing. She was like, how do you feel? I was like, feel great. She's like, okay, cool. And then I should have known when Martine leaned in and said to me, this has no effect on your military unit, by the way. That something was wrong.
Something's not quite right.
And then Lana was like, oh, that's it. So you're done. Cool. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then she was like, you can keep those, by the way. I was like, oh, sweet. Thanks. What a cool little free gift. And I just went on my merry way, none the wiser. And then
I don't know if you watch Family Guy at all, but you just remind me of James Woods being led in the trap.
Ooh,
A piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
100%. And I was in a bit of a rush because we were going for a skirmish. So I had to bolt back to camp, get myself all geared up to go for the skirmish because we were fighting Siaka Heralds.
Ooh.
I'll tell you about that in a minute. So yeah, went back to camp, got geared up, headed for the skirmish. And then the skirmish was absolutely awesome. The Siaka Heralds, very scary, very wild. It was a really
It was
intense...
like Chloe looking in a mirror.
It was, just less teeth. Yeah, honestly, Siaka Herald's fantastic. Absolutely. It's the first time I've come across them, and they were awesome.
I've been going to Empire a bit longer than you, because
Oh, yeah.
But I've only ever fought Orcs and the Veeg. I really need to get out there and fight more interesting things and get skirmishing again.
The costume and makeup on all of them are fantastic. Like, PD do a fantastic job at creating all these enemies and things. They're absolutely wonderful.
I see the pictures and I'm like, oh my god, I could be fighting those? That's so cool.
Yeah.
But part of me's like, if I skirmish,
Drop
I'm invested
some of your
in
meetings.
Nietzsche and I could die.
You just
And
stop going to meetings.
I like my meetings, though. I feel like I'm a smart person whilst doing this. Tom's not a smart person. I contributed.
No comment.
Oh.
But yeah, so like Josh, who I mentioned earlier, almost got mauled by one of the Siaka Heralds. That was a very close call. But yeah, it was absolutely awesome skirmish. I'm pretty sure we did what we needed to do. Then as we were coming out the gate, someone else from Navarre was like, guys, coming back through the gate, we need more numbers. So if you feel like you could go back in, get lined up. We were like, I looked at the rest of the guys and I looked at Seb and Seb looked at me. And yes, I know you're singing it in your head. Yeah, and then we looked at the rest of the guys and we were like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. So we got lined back up and we were going to get ready. We were going through and we were the line that got bumped. There was not a single one of us that got through. We were like, God damn. But we were like, cool, that's fine. This was only a bonus skirmish to do anyway.
I think that is what puts me off doing skirmishing. The whole idea of getting armoured up and marching up and waiting and then, shit, I've been bumped. I've got to get out of my armour. I could have been going to X amount of meetings in this time. But I suppose that's the risk you played. And at least you got to go on the skirmish beforehand and as you say, this is a bonus skirmish.
I love that your biggest risk at LARP is missing out on meetings.
I could be missing on administration and bureaucracy.
Oh no, that paperwork.
Tom in real life, fuck paperwork. Tom at LARP, give me that paperwork.
You should just go to work as Nietzsche one day and you'd actually do your job.
Yeah. Oh, low blow.
Sorry. I like you really, Tom.
No.
But yeah. So we got bumped from that skirmish. We're like, you know, it is what it is. But I think we're going to start saying, like, we're only going to go on skirmishes if we can guarantee we're going to get on now. Because there's a lot
You've
of us.
You've got the rep for it now.
Yeah, like, we're pretty badass people. So our time is precious. Because
we've got a badass over here.
We could be sitting around our campfire eating our meat and drinking our mead. But no, there's, like I said, it's just LARP, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, as we were coming back through the gate from the first skirmish, I was talking with Josh again. I've mentioned Josh a lot, sorry. I was talking with Josh again, and he turned around and he said to me, because we were talking about the antlers, and I was like, yeah, they're new, I fucking hate them, they're so annoying. And I don't know how we got onto the subject, but he was like, the whole idea of Oily and Murdoch and Neve's prank war got brought up, and I said to him, I was like, no, you don't think this is Murdoch's work? And he was like, well, if it's not, he should take credit for it because it's fantastic. And I was like, this bloody better not be Murdoch's work. So I went storming back to camp after we got bumped from the second skirmish, and I looked at Murdoch straight in the eye. I was like, is this fucking you? And he just cracked up. I was like, fuck's sake, Murdoch! And I went storming into the tent, but only because I wanted to get ungeared and take my chain off and all this sort of stuff. And he, like, bless him, like, oily OC poked his head in the tent and was like, Chloe, are you okay? Like, I just want to double check. Like, are you all right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. This is fucking hilarious. Like, I'm so totally fine with it. I just want to get out my armor.
Imagine his huge shit-eating grin as soon as you come into camp.
But the fact that, like, nothing twigged until... I don't even know what it was, but yeah, it was a fantastic payback.
It's your turn now.
You just thought the clattering curtain was like being malicious, like, you know what, let's invite Chloe over and put some horns on him.
It's just, I thought I was getting a military upgrade. But anyway.
You didn't rub off on the...
But like I said, I paid Danica a crown to put my name in so my name would get pulled. But my name was always going to get pulled anyway, so I paid them a crown for no reason.
Was that your crown or Alex's crown?
It was my crown. No, it was actually my crown.
From last event.
Yeah. So when I saw Danica next, I was like, give me my bloody crown back. And they were like, oh, I actually feel really bad. I was like, yeah, just give me my money.
Where's my money, bitch?
Give me my money. But yeah, so that was absolutely hilarious. It was fantastic.
That is, yeah, it's a very well thought through way to get
It's such a convoluted scheme.
For people that are new to Empire and new to Anvil and don't really know what's going on, basically Oily, who plays Murdoch, had got a ritual called Twilight Masquerade cast on me, which lets you change your lineage for an event. So instead of I play a non-lineaged character anyway. Like, Neve's very angry, but Twilight masquerading me into a changeling meant that I couldn't control my anger. So she's very angry as it is, but she can control it. But now being a changeling, which means she just explodes, which is not fun for everyone. I'm a bomb.
I need to request a meme of you just editing Chloe's face onto Bruce Banner and the Avengers. Like, what's your secret, Cat? Hulk? I'm always angry.
The little antlers.
Yeah.
Little green antlers.
They're really cute antlers, though. I'm not going to lie.
They are really nice antlers.
Oily, you've done a great job with them. They're so cute. I do like them.
So it's your turn now. You need to get back at Oily, eh?
So we got back on the Sunday. By the Monday, I had the revenge planned out, booked, and all sorted and ironed out with a plan. Like it's all sorted. By Monday evening, it was done. It was done.
I'm so excited to see
The
this.
Empire's going to be in ruins by the end of this prank war, isn't
Oh,
it?
God.
We will be the only two people standing. Like we will kill everyone.
Everyone
else
will
in
be
the Empire.
dead. There'll just be 2 self-appointed emperors at either end of the field.
You can't kill me. As long as I've got a meeting going, I can't be killed. I'll be fine.
So we kind of just went back to camp. We chilled out. So we went for those pizzas earlier, and then I took Little Bastard for one of those pizzas in Wintermark, and he really liked it. Because we always go on like little trinket hunts, or we tried to go on little trinket hunts, because that boy is like a little magpie.
That sounds adorable.
He is. He is the
Yeah.
sweetest. He is the sweetest person. For someone whose name is Little Bastard.
Yeah, when you keep saying little bastard, before you said that, I thought I was expecting this council estate Asbo, like just white lightning across the field, bags, stealing people's tent pegs and walking away.
Oh. No,
He's a really lovely guy.
he's a
Yeah,
little
he
sweetheart.
sounds adorable.
They all are. Big Bastard is everyone.
All the
all the
Dreadshields are
Dreadshields
lovely,
are. Yeah.
You see, big bastard doesn't sound as conniving as little bastard, does it?
Yeah, Little Bastard sounds a bit sneaky.
Yeah.
It does. No, he's such a little sweetheart. Yeah, we went on a little trinket hunt. We went to Wintermark to get the pizza. Went through Dawn, got some trinkets there. Went through the traders. I helped him haggle.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Question: did you get round to seeing the Reaper this time? Because I know you've had that on your agenda for a while.
So I'll get onto that later, because yeah, we do come onto that.
Okay,
But,
cool.
Spoiler, no.
Um,
But yeah, so dinner time.
Yeah, we chilled out with the Dreadshields, had some amazing food.
yeah, I think it was pork rib or something like that. It
Oh.
was delicious. I came scarpering up the hill with my little begging bowl. I did pay into the thing this time.
Yeah.
The food was just absolutely insane. Rocky made a smoker
Yeah.
out of this big old barrel. A whiskey barrel, I'm assuming. I'm not entirely sure. I've never even put up a shelf. But
You've never tasted meat until you've tasted Rocky's meat.
oh, Rocky's meat is
He's an absolute
delectable.
god.
He really is. So yeah, they absolutely knocked it out of the park, and we had a lovely dinner.
Rocky, Lloyd, Joel, and Georgie.
Yeah.
They'd make IC bank if they actually sold it for IC coin, but
Oh God. Oh, you could sell. Yeah.
although I think he had a spare tomahawk going, to which he sold to Sicaro the Crimson Reapers and another Crimson Reapers for about 4 thrones or something like that.
Wow. What, cooked or raw?
Cooked.
Oh right. I was going to say just walking
Yeah,
around.
because he asked if you had yours, Tom.
Yeah.
And he was like, bless him, he was really worried that someone had missed out.
Oh, bless.
He's
I know.
so busy. He almost forgets to eat himself.
Oh,
I know. That's what I was making sure that they ate. Like, they are so good.
They're so sweet as well.
They are. Like,
Yeah.
You guys are badasses and reprobates in the field, but your sweethearts OC.
for the biggest, burliest Dreadshields, they have got the kindest hearts.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we were sat eating dinner, Radic had said to me, because we had said last event that he was going to set me up with this meeting with the Reaper or trying to help organise it. And he had said to me whilst we were eating, after this, he knows where the Reaper will be. So if I would like to go and see him, then to go. I was like, yeah, absolutely. Let's scoff my food down and then go. However, it didn't go to plan because certain things got in the way.
Oh yeah, Steve. Well, Steve didn't get in the way, but we needed bodyguards. So basically, we had dinner. We played a bunch of games of Sweeper.
Did you see Rock the Brock at all, or did you take a miss of the Navari play?
I don't think we did see it. No,
Oh, that's a shame. You'd have enjoyed it.
no, I missed it.
It was very mocking of your culture in a respectable way.
Oh,
that
respectable
sounds
mocking. That's the
great.
best kind of mocking.
Yeah, it's leaguish mocking.
Oh, if it's leagueish mocking, there'll be blood.
Stupid league.
Yeah, so we had a couple games of Sweeper, and then obviously finished up dinner and everything, and headed down to the forge because Steve had been getting these messages throughout the entire weekend. I don't think they were delivered directly. Obviously, we're going back a few weeks here, so I can't remember the exact kind of logistics of it. But he'd been getting these messages from this mysterious kind of hooded figure.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we didn't know what was like where it was coming from, and I think they were like, I know about you, or we're spiritually entwined or
I've
something
had dreams
like that.
of you.
Yeah, something
and
along those lines.
These dreams are telling me that I should find you.
Basically, got a stalker. Is essentially how it went down.
Were they baby reindeered? I've not watched Baby Reindeer, by the way. I don't know what it's about. I just know it's about stalker.
Well, there we go.
Great job, Tom.
Great job.
Yeah. Validation.
So basically, Grundfos in character had a invitation from this stalker to meet them at the forge
At dusk.
at dusk.
Which is not specific
Which
at
is
all.
how unspecific can you be?
I mean, England, dusk is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with the rain. It could be as early as 3:30 if you've got all the rain clouds.
So
Yeah.
we didn't realise this until we got there because we were like, I guess the sun's kind of going down. We got there and we were like, probably got about an hour and a half, 2 hours until it's dark. We should have been more specific, or they should have been. So we were there for a little bit, but the way we approached it is Steve stood with Anna, and I think Jake was with him as well, outside, obviously on show, but there were dread shields in the rafters. So me, Joey, and Simmel stood off to the side of the forge, mostly just laughing about how ripped to bits Joey's trousers were. He had his boxes hanging out and other things.
What a guy.
Oh, shout out to Simmel. Simmel does these little shot cocktails that he calls Orc's Blood. If you're keen, head yourself over to...
Like Bloody Marys.
Yeah, they're very spicy Bloody Marys, and it comes
With
with
little cornichons.
little cornichons on a cocktail stick in them as well. So you just shot those back, and they keep you warm if it's cold. So yeah, we were stood with Simmel and Joey on the side, and then you were stood, was it with Leg
I was
and
with
Bread?
Leg, Bread, maybe someone else. But then Bastard and Little Bastard were slightly to the side of us as well.
Yeah, so there were a bunch of us, and we were all kind of in the shadows where we couldn't be
Kind
seen.
of just dotted about.
And it turned out that this stalker was actually just inside the forge, just inside the front door. And they went and they chatted, and Grundfos brought them outside, and they were there talking, him with his stalker, about this spiritual entwinement and all this kind of stuff. And then when Grundfos realized that it's okay and it wasn't a threat and nothing was wrong, he said, "All right, Dreadshields, you can come out now." And we all just emerged out of the darkness from our hiding places, went round, like, patted him on the back, made sure he was okay. And apparently, OC, after this, it was Grundfos's friend, who
Yeah,
who he knew. Like, I think
it
they
was
lived
Steve's
together at
best
one point. It was
friend.
Steve's best friend, who had decided to go to LARP but not tell him.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
So, like, completely,
Yeah.
because obviously he knew that Steve was getting into it, and
Yeah.
so he decided to not tell him and just surprise him
oh,
by
that's amazing.
slowly,
I love that.
Yeah.
slowly stalking him over the weekend, and then there was this big grand reveal on Saturday, and I just think that's amazing. But apparently, this guy had said that us emerging as the Dreadshields and like having Steve's back and things was one of his favorite things about the event, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice. I had something semi-similar I forgot to mention in my episodes, if you don't mind. I'd left a load of posters at Reaper's Rest by accident because they closed up quite quickly at midnight. Get everyone out, they've got to go home. So I had a message from James, who plays Jean in the Reapers. It's like, right, Tom, I want to give you these posters back, but I've thought in a few creative manners. So are you okay with me maybe doing them in a slightly threatening way? It's like, yeah, I love that. Please do. So I come back to camp, and a few of my jackdaws are worried because there's a poster being left on one of our tables with a knife and a model jackdaw through it. I was like,
Oh my God.
that's sick.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's so cool.
So what could that be?
Basically, I was like, because I said, don't worry about it, I'm sure it'll be fine. It was just like basically him doing the Reaper return of a poster, which I found hilarious.
Oh, nice.
That's
Like the
so
amount of
cool.
effort that went into it
Yeah.
was spot on.
I'll always remember the postie that you gave me. I think we were only a few events in.
E2 last year.
E2 last year, you gave me a poster for the Jackdaws, obviously, promoting yourselves, and was like, "Oh, would you mind putting that on your hot dog stand so people can come and see it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." And about a minute or two later, he got covered in sausage grease, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just chuck it on the fire." But you'd just come back. So in your mind, you'd been like, "Hey, Otis, here's a poster for my business. Please present it." And I was like, "No worries, I will do."
And then not even 5 minutes
A minute
later.
later, it's just on the fire. I hope that you believe me. When I...
It was fucking hilarious. I love where those posters end up. I will always
Like,
laugh when the memory of Ian
Ian's.
telling me, Tom, it was brilliant. I found a poster in the hardest to get Navari bathroom on the Portaloo floor, scrunched up into a ball, and I still love the fact he took the time to unfold it and read
But
it.
the fact that Ian will open up a bit of paper that he's found in the dirtiest toilets in Anvil, I would probably go for and say, and open it with his bare hands, unscrumpled it to see what it said.
I'm sure he disinfected his hands afterwards.
Well, it is LARP. I don't know. I mean, I don't know Ian's hygiene, but
I'm sure he's a very hygienic man.
I talk for, I talk from experience at Empire. Hygiene kind of goes for most people.
Yeah.
But no, you can tell what time it is on a Thursday, a Friday, because I'll go on Poster Quest around
Poster
4
Quest.
o'clock and just
Yeah.
cover Anvil in jacked
We usually
up
have one
posters.
outside the front of the Dread Shields and we shake our fist at it.
I've seen a couple on trees before, and I've just yanked them down.
Yeah, I always put them in Navari trees. I make a point of always leaving one on Tristan's table. Before tying it in.
Yeah.
I gave one to Ian. I was like, put this into the hardest place you can get to, but buddy.
You should number them so they can become collectibles, or like put like different like symbols on them.
So I can tell, like the arrows at LARP.
What?
Arrows.
People put symbols on their arrows.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, I
Get them
see.
back
Yeah.
so they can
Yeah.
tell who's who's.
I thought you
And then
meant like there was like a treasure hunt or something to follow, like a one-way system. I was like, wow, I don't know about this.
You're not cool enough, Chloe.
I mean, no, I LARP, so.
But yeah, that's just what I wanted to mention. I love the effort of returning that poster for me.
Yeah,
Half-
that's cool.
I was
Yeah.
kind of expecting just an arrow in the back impaling me with a poster tied to it.
That's funny.
Nice. But yeah, I think that at that point it was about time to fill up the kettle.
Your
With
kettle
water
of
or ale?
Oh, ale.
ale, obviously.
Ale into the evening. And just socialise at that point.
How was your Saturday evening? Because I found mine
Yeah.
quite cold and very wet, which takes a lot out of the game for me.
Yeah, we didn't really do too much. I think once we sat down for dinner, I don't really think I left camp. Oh, no, Seb and I did leave camp at one point because we went on a little. What we were going to be was a bar crawl, but Anvil was just dead.
Yeah, I remember.
I still
No,
can't
but-
believe you stood up the Reaper, though.
Oh yeah, I was getting to that, wasn't I? Oh, apologies in advance, Mr. Reaper. I didn't have like a specific meeting. I was just going to go and see if he had time because he had like a free-ish slot.
Well, he was getting married
But-
that night.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a free-ish slot before, apparently. But it was raining and I was cold. And after doing this bodyguarding thing, I was like, "Look, I kind of just want to go back to camp and get a drink." And because I wasn't wearing my glasses because it was raining and it was dark, I was really struggling to see. And I was like, I don't want to have to navigate through the league wearing a mask as well when I can't see.
Those
If
leafish streets can be dark.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't raining, I would have been able to keep my glasses on. But because it was raining and then having to wear a mask, and because it was dark, I was like, do you know what? Look, I'm just gonna go before I snap my ankle or something stupid. I'm just gonna go. So sorry, Reaper, I have to wait.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I mean, as you say, the weather was miserable. It was cold,
Yeah.
and it was lovely just sitting around the fire with the Dread Shields.
Until a wet log was.
Oh God, I don't know who put that wet log on the fire.
I wonder, Rook.
But I was smoked out. I think I even went to bed a little bit early because I just inhaled
Yeah.
that much smoke.
Poor Fergus as well. Fergus was fire master, and he was just sat in constant smoke for a couple of hours. Like his eyes were streaming at some points because of the smoke. Bless him. So I
Yeah.
ended up switching with him. But yeah, we just kind of sat at camp, chilled out, drank. We had a bloody good time. So Seb and I headed out for a little. We were going to go on like a little mini bar crawl, but Anvil was dead. But we did go to one bar in Navarre. I can't remember what it's called. Not the Navarre before anyone says.
Drunken Goose.
No, it's right next to Songs and Stories, but they were selling these shots, and there was someone that was really kind and bought both Seb and I a shot, and they kind of headed off because Songs and Stories, so we didn't really get a chance to chat to them or say thank you or whatever. But the bartender was like, take a shot and then I'll explain something to you. We were like, oh, okay. So we took a shot of this shot, and then they were like, so you've just ingested chaos fruit.
Yay!
And we were like, oh, right, okay. So they explained that, we feel really happy and overwhelmed with joy, love, whatever, and we have to tell the next 5 people that we love them. So that was pretty cool. So that was a fun little bit of like RP.
I've still never done a drug at Anvil.
Yeah, same.
I'm a pure soul who just likes his alcohol.
Well, you've got Neve who's addicted to bite. Sound on chaos fruit. But no, Goose Whisper's next on her list, I think.
I just don't think Empire drugs have just never been a game I'm interested in particularly.
Yeah.
Having to do the role-playing effects. Just doesn't really appeal to me, but that's just me, my preference as a LARPer.
When Neve was on bike, most people didn't realise she was on bike. She's just that angry anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, no, so we kind of did that. Headed back to camp because wet, cold, dead Anvil.
Miserable.
Yeah, everyone. I feel like everyone kind of felt the same. So there really wasn't much. There was no heart anywhere. There was no liveliness or whatever. So yeah, we headed back to camp.
The cold
but-
really takes it out of people,
It
and it's
does.
a long day.
Yeah,
And then woke up Sunday and we had, well, God, it was a bit of a tragedy. So I opened our tent, our canvas tent, and pulled the flaps aside.
Wee.
And cheeky.
Gotta buy him dinner first.
Pulled the flaps aside with both arms. And sorry, listeners.
Wow.
Wow.
And there was more tent. I was greeted with more tent. There was just more canvas in front of my face, and it turned out our entire tarp had entirely collapsed in the
Yeah.
rain.
The Lops and Tops tarp had fallen down.
Yeah.
Top down, top down.
Tarp down. Went outside. Well,
That sounds like one of us has died. Half tarp, half mast.
We'll just wrap them up in a tarp and set them sail.
Bam, bam, bam.
and crawled out from under this sodden tarp and just popped out the other side and saw Fergus standing there in the rain. The entire Dreadshield's main tarp, like basically the ceiling of our living room, was just down on top of where the fire was and
For
all that kind
anybody-
of stuff.
Sorry, for anybody that's been to the Dreadshield camp, who's been privileged enough to experience it, you'll know how big that thing is. And yeah, just the entire thing had collapsed.
So yeah, I mean, and Fergus's and Dylan's tent collapsed as well. Dylan said
no.
he woke up and there was just tent like 2 centimeters away from his face, and he was like, "Oh fuck,
At
Yeah,
like 2 a.m.
Fergus, get up!" Yeah,
I think Bungle said in the LARP Noobs that they woke up and just saw a desolation of all like Navari camps because the rain had just smattered on so hard.
yeah. Oh, speaking of Bungle, I can't remember if it was the Saturday or the
Ooh,
Sunday.
Question: Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Just reminded. Didn't he testimony you or something like that?
Yeah, he. So I wanted a testimony on my soul for a wee while. Something that embodies.
Sorry, I just that just clicked. It's like,
No, it's
don't
good.
forget that. That's something cool.
No, it's all good. Something that embodies my
Persona.
persona, my beginnings at LARP. So I now have succulent snag tattooed on my soul.
Yes.
That's so
Do we
cool.
do we all have something tattooed to our souls now?
I don't.
I've got wonderful head.
Nice succulent
Tristan?
snag. Yeah.
I don't know if Tristan does or not.
No.
This is probably something
Radka
like
doesn't.
no. We
but-
should all get matching tattoos, or at least tattooed on the soul by
Terrific
the end of the
tarp.
year. Terrific tarp.
I also commissioned Cameo to do a picture of me. She does pictures for. It's not much. I think it's how much is it?
£5? I don't know. I've made
five,
that up.
4 or 5 pounds,
That's
something like that.
reasonable.
Yeah, and
no
she
idea
does
I made that
this. Yeah, obviously tailor made, bespoke picture of whatever you want. So I've got me with my cape on, holding a massive sausage above my head heroically.
Nice.
With
I've not seen this.
succu-
You'll have to show me sometime.
Oh, it's not finished yet. I
Okay.
think. Well, maybe it might be finished for E2. I don't know.
Do you think you'll post it on the LARPs and Tarps
Oh,
page?
yeah, we'll post it. Yeah, and I think succulent snag's going to be written above it as
wonderful.
well. Yeah. And then I know you guys said this in the last episode, but it's basically umming and ahhing. Are we going to fight? Are we going to monster? Things like that. And yeah, when it turned out we were, I was like, yes, headed to the gates.
You got your battle in.
Yeah, we got our battle
Well, I
in.
think listening to the LARP Noobs, you two inspired Millie to go on her
We did.
LARPing.
God
the
damn
Spencer
Yeah.
battle.
Millie, we were stood outside the front of the gates, and he's a great orc. He plays like a surly, kind of grumpy
Is it
type
the Orc Egregore
orc.
who says you're gonna die?
Yeah,
Fucking gonna die.
yeah.
Oh, I can't remember his name, but he's
I
great.
can't remember,
He is cool.
but yeah, all like white and grey type.
Yeah, I believe he's the Egregore.
Came over to us, the Dreadshields, just as we were like getting ready and things, and sold us these contracts where basically if you died, someone else died in your place, essentially. And Millie bought one,
Okay.
But I was like, oh, cool. Who are you going
was
to choose?
That Millie actually sticking hands into her pocket?
Oh.
Agony?
Well, I mean, this guy was accepting like dead sparrows.
Oh,
and,
right, cool.
Not just money. I don't know what they paid.
Pocket sausage.
And I was like, oh, who'd you choose? And she was like, oh, you. I was like, oh, thanks. So basically, if Millie died in the battle, someone with no armor died in the battle, I would instead die in her place. I was like, that's lovely.
Don't you want the privilege of dying for Agony?
Oh, that is true. Yeah, yeah.
In their honor.
In
No.
their honor.
Yeah.
Agony is fantastic.
Love
Agony is
Agony.
one of my favorite characters that I've come across at Anvil.
Did you know they're going to be a narc next season?
Ooh,
An arc.
Yeah, they're joining the militia.
Oh.
did not know. I mean, it makes sense.
I just want
suppose.
her and Dave to rock up with Bad Boys playing, just like shades, smoking cigars.
That would be funny. But yeah, so Sunday morning with all the wet goings-ons, we were debating whether to fight or not. And a couple of us were like, oh, if you fight, I'll fight. And I was like, yeah, should we fight? Should we fight? Whatever. And then a couple of us had decided, yeah, do you know what, sod it, we're going to do it. Why not? And then I'd asked Millie if I could have some of her hand warmers because she had a whole box. Absolute hero. They saved me so many points throughout the weekend. Because I was going to pop a couple in my boots to keep my toes warm. And I think that's what inspired her to go fight. Cause she was like, oh, if other people are going to go, then I've got to go. So, yeah, we kind of all went off. And I realised that she's got the same... I don't even know what it is. It's like a poncho, but long, no arms and a hood type thing. It's like...
A loncho.
Sure, do you know what? Fuck it. That's what we're calling it. She had the same loncho that I've got. And I was like, oh my God, we've got the same. She was like, should we wear it into battles and be like valley changelings? Because I was still a changeling at that point.
Sorry, I'm just picturing, I don't know if you watch Scrubs where JD and Turk wear the joint jumper as conjoined twins. Now I'm
So-
just picturing you and Agony fighting together in the same jumper.
Similar. It was a similar sort of vibe. But, yeah, so she was like, oh my God, if you wear it, we can be like valley changelings. Because like I said, I was still a changeling at that point. I was like, yes. So I put that on to go to battle, not knowing that it would so very almost be the death of me, Bastard, and Rook. Which we'll get onto in a minute.
Didn't Bungle lend you something as well, Alex?
Yeah, and Bungle lent me some kit, which was very useful because it was thicker and warmer, and even let me keep it in the end, which is really
Oh,
nice
what
of
a
him.
guy.
What an
Yeah.
absolute guy.
I feel
yeah.
really bad because obviously Millie and Bungle are lovely as always the whole weekend.
I know, but the rival podcasters, what can I
I
say?
know, so fuck them.
Wow.
These fucking guys.
These guys.
I needed to boil my kettle in the morning, and our fire was being used by a very impressive full English, which was just knocked out of the park by Seb's friend.
Becca, yes.
Yeah. So I went over and I was like, oh, can I boil my kettle on your fire? And Millie
I
was,
needed my pot of mash.
yeah, Millie was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I didn't have the tripod that we usually use, so I just put it on the wood. And I know that's not the wisest thing, but it has worked before. Yeah, it might have melted the kettle a little bit, but it has worked before. And the kettle fell over,
Oh no.
Extinguish the fire.
full of water into their fire, extinguishing it. And Millie just looked at me and I was like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, it's fine, don't worry
Is this
about it.
LARP podcast sabotage?
I know, I felt really bad. But anyway, back to the battle. Well, maybe this is why Millie decided that I die instead of their place.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
It's fair
This
reasoning.
fucking guy.
yeah. But yeah, got onto the battlefield, got some great shots from photographers, which was
How
really
did you
cool.
think the battle went, considering, to be fair, the field was surprisingly unmuddy?
It was okay, yeah.
Where were you?
I was on
It
the
was
battlefield.
muddy everywhere.
No, I thought it was wet, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there wasn't much mud.
Yeah.
You saw the state of myself and the van afterwards, right?
Well, that's from Pack Down. I think most of the mud
Oh.
was after everyone had like tramped through it.
Well, we'll get on to why I was so
So,
muddy
how
afterwards.
did the battle come across for you guys? Obviously, a lot of people had left, be it
Mm.
monsters and Navari, Brass
Yeah.
Coast, and
Yeah.
Horizon.
So there was a lot less people on the field than there usually would be, and
I actually
in-
found the battle really enjoyable because of that. I mentioned in the last episode, but I enjoyed being able to maneuver around more and skirmish a lot
yeah,
more.
I enjoyed it more. There being less.
There was a
people.
lot less line fights and a lot more maneuvers.
Yeah, and I think also when everybody's aware that the conditions are bad everyone has kind of a better time because we're all in the same boat.
I really enjoyed their strike down rule where rather than fall on your ass,
Yeah.
you take the knee, let them you get a couple of hits in, and then get back up rather than having to go flat out on your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed the battle. Like, the plan, I think the plan was for me to kind of do a lot of the leading because I'm at some point going to be leading the Dread Shield, but not really sure what's happening with that. I don't really know. I don't really feel like I should be because I'm a bit of a loose cannon. But it was a bit of an awkward battle, so I didn't. But I still took a bit more of a front line than what I usually do, so that was pretty cool. But we started off at the top bit where the bridge is, and then I think the refs had decided that little regio bit was out of play because it was too muddy up there, so they cordoned off that bit of the field. And then we were fighting in the woods for a bit.
That's where I got the cleave on Alex. I was like,
So-
there's a line.
When you got that line, my God. So as a shield bearer, you get pulled from left to right because obviously I'm meant to be fighting with the dread shields, but you'll get people coming in and saying, "Oh, we need a shield over here. We need a shield." And I feel like a sea turtle who doesn't know whether to head towards the city or the
don't.
sea.
Yeah.
You
So
stay with us.
I know, but when you see someone getting kind of
It's not our
overtaken, you
problem.
want to. Anyway, I did it. So I went over and I ended up fighting with it was Black Scar.
Yeah.
And they were in a shield wall line, and I went up right on the far right hand side of them, and they've got a lot of calls which only they know.
Yeah.
They're like secret army calls, so obviously the enemy
So they've
doesn't know
got a
what
code.
they're doing. They've got a code, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what anything meant, and one of the calls they called it out. I can't remember what it was, but everyone got one down on one knee, like crouched down. Obviously, apart from me,
Yeah.
because I didn't understand what the
What's
call
going on,
was.
yeah.
So I was the only one left standing, and I'm not one to talk about other people's military decisions. I've got the military prowess of an acorn, but when they all went down, obviously the Grendel were like, "Oh, sweet," and just went straight for them because they were able to swing straight over the shields onto their heads, so and their shoulders. Anyway, so I was the only one left standing, and it's at that point that you, Nietzsche, came around the tree with a big old cleave on the back of my thigh, and then I was down as well.
Yeah, I fucking love like so we're taking strike down from you so we don't want players in the mud.
Yeah.
But we're giving you cleave on your helmet. I was like, yeah. Lots of people who aren't wearing armor with a cleave. Count me in.
But no, it was overall a great fight. And Steve Grunfoss had repel. What he could bestow. I don't know what the fucking terminology is, but he could give people repel with his staff.
Empowered.
Empowered, is it?
Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah. So basically, because I already get a few cleaves, he turned me into a bit of a cleave machine. He might have only given me a couple, but it felt like a lot. You know, I felt like I was cleaving a lot. And there was one point where he bestowed it, and I said, "Well, actually, how long does this last? How long do I have this extra cleave for?" And he said, 30 seconds. Oh, I think it was 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, I've got to find someone to cleave in 30 seconds." And then I became like a cleaving missile. just looking, because you get these big, heavily armored guys, and you might just have a little bit of knee that you can see,
Yeah.
you know, poking out that you can aim a cleave.
Oh, that
for.
was a meme you sent the other day that fucking had me in stitches. Where can I get this cleave on in this £8,000 kit? It's like,
Yeah. Sorry, man, I'm gonna have to do it in the head. It's the only thing possible. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed fighting with Navarre. It's always
that
really
battle
exciting.
left me with mixed feelings of, oh my god, I see Chloe on the floor dying. And at the same point, I was like, haha, I see Chloe on the floor dying. How am I supposed to feel?
Yeah, I was hoping to talk about that.
I was legitimately concerned, like, is Chloe down? Has she had another operation I don't know about? Oh no!
I love the fact that the only possible reason for me to be down during battle is because I'm legitimately injured from surgery.
Well, I saw a lot of Navari down. I just started mocking you as I went along. Like,
So,
sucks to be you. Because I
I
saw
didn't-
Jack before I saw you, because he was further in the front and had been
I
knocked
didn't
down as well.
No, I didn't see you in the field, but when
Well, I
I
was
was
in a mask.
yeah, I never recognised. To be fair, I've recognised Morgan a couple of times. Oh, I recognised him when we were monstering Saturday.
It's his big
Anyway.
egg head and sense of ego, isn't
Big
it?
egg.
But no, so the reason I was down on the Sunday was because I got knocked down, like legitimately fair and square. I got knocked down.
But
And
did
then-
you get up again?
So Bastard was on one side and Rook was on the other side of me, and they were trying to lift me up. But because of this loncho that I decided to wear with Millie. Because it goes past my boots. So when I was down, it's quite long. I was on the floor. As I was trying to stand up, I was standing on that. So as I was standing up, it was pulling me back down, like I was pulling myself back down.
You know what kind of moment that is?
Skill
No
issue.
capes.
Not Gibbs. Oh yeah, lesson learned.
Yeah. I did that in my first ever Empire where I wore a cape and the cord got stuck in my armor arm, and I was like, I can't hit down. I'm tangled up, and I've never worn a cape in battle again.
No, like my commitment to the bit is dumb, but never again. But yeah, so I was down, and because it was slippy as well, I was standing on my stuff as I was pulling myself down. It was really frustrating. So they were trying to pull me up, but the line was pushing forward, and so they ended up almost dragging me because they were pulling me up, but because I couldn't actually stand up, I was falling back down. So they did drag me a little bit. So a ref came over, was like, "No dragging, you can't drag." Blah, blah. Like, fully get, like, yeah, I know.
Safety comes first.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. However, I was trying to explain to this ref, I was like, I know, I'm trying to stand up. I'm getting caught on myself. Like, I can't get myself up. And they kept going like, "No dragging, you are not allowed to drag." We were like, "We know, I'm trying to stand up." But then the line was pushing forward. And then the ref was like, "Right, stand up, get yourself up, and then start walking back to your line." We were like, "Yes, cool, thank you." So we stood up, and then one of the Grendel came over, like, "What's going on?" And they were like, the ref was like, thankfully the ref was like, "They're with me, like they're walking back to the line, let them pace, let them go." And then they were like, "Quickly, move it, pick it up, get to your line." We were like, yes, okay, we're going. But if it was not for that ref coming over, we 100% would have been surrounded, and all three of us would have died.
Yeah.
So the two of them trying to save me, it would have killed them. So you guys, awesome for coming to my rescue. Sorry for almost being the death of you, but what do you expect? It's Neve. She is going to be the death of you anyway.
I felt for such a small Grendel force. I hope we gave you a good match. I felt
You did.
Oh, it was a fantastic fight. Yeah. I had a great
that
time.
retreat was awful. We're not going to talk too much about that because I have very strong mixed opinions on it. But that retreat was definitely something.
We harrowed you pretty much to the gate, I felt. We kept pushing
The thing is,
and pushing
it's like
and pushing.
we called the retreat, and I knew it had to be a slow retreat, not an immediate retreat, because if we all just bolted for the gate, we all would have piled on and we all would have just got rear-ended. So it had to be slow and it had to be in stages. But there was just a point where no one was retreating. We were all just stood line fighting. It was Brass Coast and us. And then it was just like a sea of line fighters. And I was like, what are we doing? Let someone do something. Someone just fuck off the field. Let's just go.
I think at E1, because we haven't done it for a while, people forget how to retreat in a good order, because that happened to us on the Saturday as well.
Yeah.
Like, I felt our withdrawal was very slow. No one was giving concise orders or timely orders to get us off quickly and in a good order.
And there were Grendel skirmishing units coming in from the sides as well.
Yeah.
So it is kind of lucky that we didn't all just turn back and all head off at the same time.
Oh, no,
because
100%.
we would have been hit at the sides.
It feels like one nation needs to be picked to...
well, there was an order that was going through from the runners between each, like, commander and things that was going to say, okay, well, like, the Brass Coast are going to go, and then I think Navarre were going to go. Who else were we fighting with?
Varushka and I think Urizen as well.
I think Urizen, yeah. So I think maybe Urizen were going to be last off. I can't honestly remember because we were kind of mixing with Urizen.
And Wintermark, of course. How did I forget
Wintermark?
I stabbed a Kier. It made me happy.
Nice. But after the battle, all soggy, headed back to camp, and it was packed down, a very wet packed down.
Yeah, did you guys just end it after the battle?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I was sorry. I was just going to say, Michael, you absolute hero. Just in his t-shirt and his trousers, no jumper, no nothing. Just absolutely sodding through, trying to clean up camp, pack up camp as it was pissing it down.
Yeah.
What a hero.
Soaked through to the bone. Poor guy.
I would have put a coat on, though. I mean, you can still help, but...
You know what that is? Skill issue.
I kept trying to, like, offer him a blanket or a coat or things. He's like, no. He's like, at this point, I'm already wet through. It would just make anything else wet through. And I was like, I get that, but you're going to catch yourself a cold.
Yeah, poor guy.
But no, absolute. Honestly, absolute hero for cleaning up camp and things.
Yeah.
as we
Considering he'd already packed up all of his stuff
Yeah,
and he was
'cause
all
his
ready to
tent-
go. And
his
yeah.
tent had like semi-collapsed at like 5 a.m. anyway, so it'd been packed down since then.
Yeah.
I think I've done a lot of festival pack down, like going to download festivals in the rain.
Yeah.
LARP pack down is so much better because everyone's in make do amends spirit, like push on, we'll all support each other. Songs
Yeah.
being sung, pats on the back, everyone's having a laugh. So much
Yeah.
better than just like, let's get all this
Fuck it, I
done.
wanna go home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, overall, absolutely fantastic event.
it was real.
Really enjoyed it.
Highlights for you two then. What were your highlights of the weekend?
Chloe, do you want to go first?
As much as it pains me, it probably will be the Twilight Masquerade thing
Yeah.
and the Siaka Heralds. They were so cool.
I'd say for me, it would possibly be
Kettle of Ale.
my kettle of ale. No,
Not the toilets
The
again. this time.
Portaloos.
I like the little things. Sitting around camp playing sweeper.
Oh,
is
fucking Sweeper.
I really need to come by and have
Yeah.
a game of Sweeper with you guys again sometime.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
a
much
fourth
fun.
throne buy-in.
I'm out.
But only for you, not for anyone else. Only for you. Yeah. But yeah, and then we had a very soggy van ride home. But you heard about that on the last episode.
Yeah, and I will reiterate: people, no. Fast food, service station restaurants do close. We were so close to missing the burger,
Oh my god.
and that would have been a travesty.
If I'd have missed my Whopper, I'd have snapped.
I'd already cried on the pack down. I probably would have cried again.
Look closely at the thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen. You can probably see Chloe in the back of the van still.
Is it the one of us in the front of the van, or is it the one where I'm in
No.
the back?
I do love how the tractor comes to tow us out, and you're just in the back like the queen.
Oh,
waving
for the
at
last
us.
episode.
Yeah.
That's not the thumbnail.
Oh, is it not
Oh.
the thumbnail? It's still a favourite moment. It's like, let's get out the van. Now,
The way I
let's leave her in.
described it to you guys when you got back in, I was like, I feel like the great Nana at a wedding, that it's a bit too late for her. So she's ready for her bed, but everyone wants to carry on partying, so she just sits at the back of the venue hall and watches everyone else have fun.
Gotta go
Yeah.
home and draw
That's-
the curtains.
But that's what I was doing. I was cold, I was tired, I was just mentally done, and I did have a little cry. And I was
Just a
just
little weep.
just a little weep.
What, as a little treat.
You guys were all having beers, stood outside
Yeah,
in the
Dave-
mud, and I was like,
Daisy,
fuck you.
Get that tinny.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
the
we
days
were
just
like,
came out of nowhere.
What
yeah.
did you get? Well, they saw us in the mud and they were like, ha, look at those losers. And then they saw your coat. They were like, oh, wait, we know those losers that are stuck
They're
in the
our
mud.
losers.
Well,
Let's go help them.
There was a choice, like, okay, I can make one of our trips back to the van easier. Bear in mind, the trips in the mud were like half an hour each. Or I
Awful.
could take those tinnies. And I decided to take the tinnies.
That's a very good decision. But yeah, thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed.
Morgan's not here to do the usual spiel, is he? So we won't be
So-
reading out comments this week. 'cause
Yeah.
Morgan's the only one contractually able
Well,
to do so.
I'm annoyed at Morgan because I left a 5-star review on.
And he fled to Turkey.
and he
avoid
fled to.
it.
To get his BBL.
Yeah.
Well, it was on Spotify, which is apparently quite hard to access. But who knows? Next episode, Morgan might read it out. But yeah, thanks for listening. And as usual, remember that you can find us on all of our social medias. The LinkedIn tree should be in the description.
We're on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah. All of your podcast streaming sites, as Morgan says.
Yeah.
We should just clip from another episode and just paste it in.
We'll just put
Yeah.
Morgan's.
That's what the other podcasts sometimes do, like proper professionals.
Oh, not us then.
Nah,
Such losers.
nerds. I mean, who would do a LARP podcast?
Oh, not us nerds.
Nah,
Who would laugh? God.
God, I wouldn't dare.
cringe.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Take care out there. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.